everyone. Welcome back. Episode 8 of the Nexus podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us. Zach, introduce yourself, brother, to the people.
Hello, everyone. My name is Zach, and I'm here.
He is the VIP trader.
Yeah.
The
Maybe.
VIP trader.
We should do
I've been getting lucky.
We should do like a trader of the month. And
there you go.
Yeah, like a little photograph poster. And say trader of the month, and just post it in the Nexus every time.
Yeah, that'd be fire.
We need to get Gio to do that.
Right. I'm super excited for this one. This is going to be a good one.
Yeah.
Zach's going to give us a little. He's going to give us some psychology tips about his last month's worth of trading. I'm ready for this one.
Yeah. It's going to be good. Because honestly, you've been killing it, dude. All the stuff you've been posting. It's like every day I open the crypto chat in the Nexus and I'm just like, damn.
Yeah. I've been having some good wins.
So give us a bit of a rundown with, I know it was a couple weeks ago that you were on this epic run that you were on. So give us a little bit of what goes on in your brain when you are getting ready to open a trade, and then you're seeing how well it's doing just from open to close of the trade, whether it's 5 minutes, 5 hours, a couple days, just give us some sort of thoughts to what it is that is going through your head when you're trading, especially with the margin that you're using and the risk you're taking along with your leverage.
Okay. Well, I'll start with like my leverage and the risk. I'd say the past like 6 weeks, I increased my risk from like 100 to 250, and then now I'm doing 250 to 1,000. So anytime that I take a trade, I'm risking up to $1,000 if my stop loss gets hit. And depending on the trade, depending on the confluence and everything, is how I choose how much to risk and whatnot. But and then obviously my risk to reward ratio. But honestly, when it comes to like managing my emotions and entering the trade, kind of like what you said, Kenny, I just hit the button and I minimize my screen and I just go away, do something else, do something more productive, go to the gym, go work my full-time job. If the trade hits, it hits. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out.
I mean, that's a big
I think
thing.
a lot of
you gotta get there and do it.
You just have to hit you have to go into the trade and literally expect you have to expect that you're going to lose money, basically. Because it's part of the game. Yeah. And I think reading that book, Trading in the Zone, really helped me build that psychology. I mean, I think I still have a lot to learn, and I still get emotional sometimes, especially when my P&L gets really high, or if I am in the red and I do check and I see my P&L is like negative 900 and I'm about to get stopped out. Like, it sucks, but I think it's just part of the game.
Yep.
I mean,
so how about like sleeping? what goes on at night? Like how's your nighttime?
My wife hates when I have trades that go throughout the night because I'm checking my phone before I go to bed. I'm checking my phone at midnight, at 2 a.m. Like, yeah, it's unhealthy. So a way that I have prevented that is her and I made a rule where we no longer have phones in our master bedroom, and we have new charging stations in our living room. So when we're ready to go to bed, we put our phone on the charging station, and when we go into our room, we go to bed. That's what the room is for. Go to bed, and obviously other things. But yeah,
Good for you guys. That's awesome. Yeah,
Dude,
that's
I
good.
need to do that low key.
Yeah, right. I think a lot of us do.
You need to do which thing out of everything, Jeff?
I gotta put my phone somewhere else, bro. I sit on my phone way too long, especially in the morning. My alarm goes off. First thing I do is I'm on my phone.
Yeah, we have a pretty nice routine that we do in the morning, and I think keeping myself off that screen before bed and not having it in bed helps me go to sleep quicker, and it helps me stay asleep. And I mean, I still sometimes will wake up in the middle of the night and I know my trade's going, but I go to the bathroom and I go back to bed. So
yeah,
I mean, especially when you're in such a profitable position, it probably makes it that much easier to sleep at night, knowing, do you ever raise your stop if you're like in huge profit? And we'll get into the amounts here pretty quick, but do you ever raise your stop up, or do you keep it where it's at all times before TPing?
My stop loss, like if I go to bed, I will set depending on where I am in the trade, like how far I am in the green, I'll set my stop loss to like break even. Is that what you're asking?
Yes.
Yeah. So yes, I typically will set my stop loss to break even when I go to bed, because I don't want to wake up in the morning and see negative dollars. Right. I'd rather wake up and see that I either have zero, or I am still in the trade, or I have TP'd and I've made money. It's not a fun way to start the day.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
And you don't want to start the day with a bad mindset either. Then you just start your revenge trading from the second you wake up. That's not good.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, just saying stop loss got hit well, being in the negative just doesn't sit right. When you wake up in the morning, first thing you see is red.
I think ideally I would probably just stop trading and leaving trades open overnight, and just kind of scalp trade like Kenny does.
Yeah.
I feel like I've gotten burned more times leaving it open, because so many other markets open when I'm sleeping and there's so much volatility. There's so many things that can happen, right? So I think that's something that I should lean more towards.
Yeah, so just picking up 1 or 2 sessions while you're awake and just sticking to that, and whatever happens during that is what you're saying.
Yeah. Basically. Yeah, and it'll peace of mind too, and I can go to bed knowing that my money is safe, and I can sleep and not wake up and want to check my trade,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that's
like
a big
Christmas
problem
morning.
for a lot of people. Like over trading could be a big problem for a lot of people. And I mean, the whole thing is you gotta protect your capital, because that's your biggest weapon when you're trading, is the capital that you actually have in your account. So anything that protects that is going to be a good move.
Yeah, over trading was a big thing for me. I used to trade a lot. I would lose a lot and I would win a lot, but now I'm being more cautious and I'm taking things a lot more slowly. Gio always stresses patience pays, and it really does. If you can wait and hit 2 really good trades in a week, and you get a 4 or 5 to 1 risk to reward ratio, that's all you need to do. There's no sense in entering these positions where you think, you just kind of like convince yourself that it's going to work. But that's the other part of the psychology and being patient. Like, you want to make the money now. Like, you want to get rich now. It's just a constant battle.
Yeah, and I think that us is getting to a lot of people. Especially a lot of new people, because they want to just make the money now, like you said. And I think it's better if everyone just from the beginning just focuses on building their capital slowly, instead of like trying to hit that big number, that one trade that's going to hit like 10x on their account.
Yeah.
Because realistically, most people aren't going to get that.
And I'll admit, I don't do the 1% risk rule. I used to, like when I first started trading with Geo, strategy and whatnot. But honestly, this is just my opinion. It's boring trading with smaller dollar amounts, and it doesn't mean as much to me. And I feel like I think a lot more clearly when I have more money on the line. Yeah. As weird as that sounds.
Yeah.
I'm not discrediting the 1% rule. I think it's an awesome rule. And if you're patient enough and you make that 1% a day, compound interest is one hell of a multiplier, right?
Definitely, yeah. And I see what you're saying, because I also wasn't using the 1% rule a lot of the time, and I can definitely understand where you're coming from. But while I was trying out breakout, well, the prop firms in general, I started slowly understanding the 1% rule and its importance in that. So I think it's more so psychological than in terms of capital.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll kind of bump up my percent rule. Sometimes I'll do like 2. It depends on what to trade and how confident I am. But I mean, the 1% rule is a good rule for people who are like starting to learn and like trying to get the hang of it and stuff, because you're going to have a lot more opportunity to actually trade if you're sticking to 1%. But I mean, if you know what you're doing more and you're like confident in a trade, you can probably bump it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So give us a rundown of one of your very first very big trades. I know it was a couple weeks ago. I can't remember if it was on Bitcoin or if it was on something else, but like the asset and how much margin you put in, your risk. I think you said $1,000, and then how much leverage you did, and then how much you made, how much profit.
So we'll talk about the Ethereum trade. I made I think it was like $12,700 or some crazy number. Like, I've never seen win that big, so I felt like an imposter. It was crazy. I felt like I had imposter syndrome. Do you guys ever feel that sometimes? Yeah.
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 You went in for like 500 Ethereum or something like that, right?
It was. I think it was like 200, 300. I think, but my risk was 800, and my stop loss was like $2. It was something insane. It was a really big gamble. I'm not gonna lie, but it looked good.
100 up, 125.
125. So I had such a small stop loss, I could just use all the leverage I wanted. But I have enough capital in my account. So I have I usually float around 15 to 20 grand in my KSX exchange. So leverage doesn't really mean much to me because I have enough margin to cover my positions, right? And that's pretty much it, you know. I know that
you hit that Ethereum trade, and that was a long trade, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was long, and then you closed out that trade, and then didn't we do a Monday range trade where you went short and then made another Bitcoin. 10 or something? Yeah, you went short on BTC.
I went short on Bitcoin, and I think I made, at one point my P&L was up to like 9.95, but it ended up coming back, and then I ended up TPing at like 7. But I didn't have any TP set for that short. I was watching it, and it was as much fun as it was watching it. I wish that I would have just set realistic TPs and just went away. But we were all on Discord together. Gio was in there. We were laughing, having a good time. It was really fun.
Yeah, I remember that day. That was a good day.
I mean,
I think a lot of us had a decent amount of money that day.
That was
You had a lot of smaller ones too. And and I say smaller, but I feel like every time I check Discord, I see you posting a screenshot. It's like $1,000 here, $2,000 there, $5,000 here. I'm like, damn, dude.
I mean, my wins outweigh my losses for sure. But I think something that we as a group don't do enough is we don't show our losses. I feel like we glorify our wins too much, and we're not being transparent enough, especially for the newer traders, the newer guys that come into the Nexus. Like, they look at our P&Ls and they're seeing like, oh, these guys are winning and making money all the time, but it's not like that at all. And I think we should. Yeah. I think that we should start posting more of those losses. Because it's just not realistic.
And we're kind of getting started on that with like the that new part of the Discord with paid or played and stuff. And trying to we're kind of starting to try to push that more, get people to post their losses, and then I mean, really, it's beneficial if you can post your loss in there, and then Geo goes over it. Then you can go over what you did wrong and actually take something away from it and learn from it. That way you don't fuck it up again in the future.
Yeah, exactly. And documenting your trades too, that's something that I started doing when I was risking only 1%, but I kind of just stopped doing it. I don't know why I stopped. Maybe I was just being lazy or whatever it was, but that's something that I'm going to start doing again, is documenting my trades and really studying them so I can see where my mistakes go wrong or my trades go wrong.
So after you had a good couple of, it was like a week long worth of trading, you had a little bit of a setback. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, just got a little emotional, got a little stupid, lost some money, all money that I made. I started I'll just be completely transparent. March 1st, I think. My wife and I decided that we were going to put $2,000 into my KSEX exchange, and I was going to trade with it. I got it all the way up to 19 grand at one point. And then now it's come down. It's come down a decent amount, but you live and learn, and you learn from those experiences. I'd rather lose the money and learn the hard way, so I don't make those same mistakes again, than just keep winning or not learn from them. I know all you guys have the same stories where you guys have lost. Doesn't really matter how much money it is.
Yeah.
However much is a lot to you guys.
Like 20 grand, 40 grand, right, Dak?
Yeah.
Well,
it's part of it. It's part of the learning process.
Yeah.
You didn't realize those profits. You should have realized those profits, Dak. You know that.
I should have. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was up that much and didn't sell it, and then So.
Wow.
No. You live and you learn.
Yeah. Dak, do you want to unpack that a little bit? I'd like to hear that story.
I've unpacked it on a previous podcast, but I'll go over it very briefly. So last summer, me and Jet were trading meme coins, properly trading meme coins.
Yeah.
And me and him just hit it big. He was up 20 grand. I was up I think 45.
And I got in way late compared to you.
I think it was around 45 or 50 around the top. And then one of my friends sold everything. He sold $53,000. Ended up telling me nothing for a month, and I thought we were all in this thing together, and I was like, I'm not gonna fuck this up for everyone. And you don't want to be the guy that ruins you don't want to be the party pooper.
Until after that happens.
Until you find out your friend sold, and then you
now I wish I crashed the party.
So that was the biggest round trip in history.
Yeah. Oh, that was. Oh my God. That was a round trip. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Dak started with fucking $35. That's what he fucking started with. He had 45 grand from 35 fucking dollars. Yeah, ridiculous.
It was my last $30 of the month.
Wow.
And I was like, crazy. Okay, let's just send this thing. Worst thing, I just lose $30 and I get it back next month.
Greed is one hell of an emotion, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
My God. Oh yeah.
That's crazy.
I'm never seeing such a number and not taking profit ever.
The crazy
again.
thing is, we had like a specific number for when it hit that. We're like, okay, we're gonna sell when the price of the coin gets to this. Dude, we're like a cent away. It's like we're like starting to get pretty close. Like,
It was like I think it was around 18 million something market cap, and we were like, we're gonna sell
like 20 million or something
20.
like that.
Yeah, 20, and it never hit 20.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
it was on track to, but then whenever his friend sold, it just kind of started a whole
And then
panic.
the whole cascade thing happened. Then the admin sold, and it just went.
Yeah, I try not to dabble in meme coins.
Yeah,
I've never touched them since.
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of blew it.
Yeah. I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm done. I'm never gonna hit another one like this again. I'm just done with that. Let's just stick to normal trading.
Dude, it was such a good one too.
Yeah, it was. That's the key word, was.
Well, and then what pissed me off is somebody from that same community made another coin, and I bought it early as fuck, and I made like, I think I put like maybe a couple $100 in or so, and I made like $1,000 or $2,000 or something like that. Like made like $1,000 or something, and I just pulled it out right away. Because I was like, I'm not fucking this up again. And then if I would have just waited like a couple weeks, I could have had like 15 grand. I could have made all my money back.
I know what you're talking about. It was like a few days.
Yeah,
I
could have made all my money back if I just waited a little bit longer.
And then the guy just disappeared for like 6 months, 8 months. I don't remember how much.
That's the thing about meme coins, so you get fucked no matter what you do.
Oh yeah. It's like take your money and run.
So Zach, for like whenever you're trading, what's the most important things that you usually look for when you're trying to get into something?
So I'll just give you a little bit of background for my crypto journey or my trading journey. Prior to joining Gio's channel, I knew nothing about day trading. My dad is a financial advisor. He owns his own firm. So I've been into investing stocks and stuff. But as far like it's all been, hey dad, here's my money, do what you want with it, and that was it. So crypto, I've always known about crypto, and as funny as this is, like back in 2012 or whatever, when the Silk Road was a thing, we used to use Bitcoin to buy stuff off there. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. So at one point, I think me and my friend had like 500 Bitcoin, and it's just crazy to think that we had that at one point. Had we kept it, that would have been really cool, but you never think of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, hindsight is a very bad thing.
Right. Yeah. So July, I joined Gio's Discord. I ran across it on Reddit, as weird as that is, and I started watching some of his videos on YouTube, and I liked him. He was enthusiastic, funny, high energy. He seemed like a cool dude. So I joined his Discord. Started talking to people in like that public chat, and I think I ended up joining the Nexus and studied all of his stuff on YouTube, studied the stuff on his uploads every day, and then he released the actual Nexus course, and I was pretty slow with my job during that time, so I was like studying a lot, watching the videos, and now I mainly just trade off of market structure, order blocks, supply and demand flips, like all of those things, just like the basic stuff. I don't try to get too technical with it. I feel like the more indicators you add, the more confusing it gets, and I feel like they they are not very productive. Like they're counterproductive when together. I know that like Corey uses the EMA cloud, and I use that sometimes with the vector candles, and that works out. But I think that, just basic market structure with supply and demand order blocks is the way to go.
Yeah, keeping it simple.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I'm also kind of like that. I like keeping it simple. After trying out a lot of different stuff, and I think the more, like you said, the more you complicate things, the worse it gets. At least for me, from my experience,
Yeah.
the more things you have, the more mixed signals you're gonna get, and the less clear the picture is gonna be. So sticking to like one or two things is, in my opinion, the best.
I've been talking to Gio. I've told him that he needs to make like a kind of like a final section to the course about I don't know if you guys saw the Nexus live stream that he did where he was explaining the new strategy that he's been using, the one that he calls the game. I told him he needs to make like a whole section in the course about that strategy, like, once he kind of refines it a little bit, gets it exactly how he wants it, and then put that out eventually, because dude, that live stream was sick. Honestly, I think that's the best stream that I've ever watched of his, low key. Like, there's just so much good shit in there. He was on fire. He was in like a flow state, just explaining all the like flip zones and shit. Dude, that show's fire. If you haven't seen it, you gotta go watch it.
I don't know if I've seen that yet.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I do know that all you need is that course, and if you learn that course, you're good. You're not. I shouldn't say you're good. You're good with the technical analysis. The psychology thing, that's the hardest part to learn, and I would recommend learning that first. But it's kind of hard to learn that first when you're not trading, right?
Yeah, and execution is also important, because you might know the technicals, you might see everything, but you need to actually pull the trigger. And if you're unsure, even if you know the technicals, you can still be unsure. So I think just pulling the trigger is also something people need to learn to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know a lot of guys that reach out to me in my DMs that struggle with pulling the trigger, or they're not confident enough, and they just have to, like you said, pull the trigger, be confident, and go. Literally, you have to enter that trade without any expectations. That's it.
If you're going into a trade expecting not to lose at all, then you're just in the wrong mindset, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yep.
You should be going into a trade expecting to get stopped out, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was like a phrase. I don't remember exactly how it goes. Like, prepare for the worst and hope for the best, something like that.
Yeah, that is the phrase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
At the very least, you have to be okay with your stop getting hit.
Yeah. So, quick question that we've asked a lot of people in the past. What do you think is the Bitcoin top going to be, or is the top already in? And what do you think the next bear market low is going to be? Like purely speculation.
Man.
I'm not.
Yeah, I know. I know it's just speculation. I would love to see it go higher, right? There's a lot of people that think it's going to go higher. There's a lot of people that think it's going to go lower. I would say, I think that this might sound crazy, but I bet we would see at least 200,000 by the end of this year.
Okay.
But that's just me personally. What about you guys?
You made a lot of people happy.
Okay.
You made a lot of people happy.
But why though? It's like nobody knows, right? You can go on YouTube and type and just wait. Like you can look for the answer that you want, and it's going to make you feel good. You shouldn't care about what other people say about their speculation, right? You should just react to the market.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just compared to what we've said on every other episode, you made a lot of people happy.
You guys are perma bears.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
They're like, finally somebody who believes in this thing.
My speculation doesn't mean shit.
Right? Well,
what about the bear market low? What do you think the next one's going to be?
I'd have to get back on my charts. I'd say 60K, maybe. I don't see it ever going.
Oh, shit.
Kenny's dying.
Why? I don't see it going any lower. I mean, with the government implementing it into it, the whole world knows about it. I mean, I don't see why it would need to go any lower.
I was going to adopt you as my son, but we got to talk now.
I thought you were a permabull. When I met you, you were a permabull.
I know. I know.
When I joined this Discord, you were a permabull and Gio was a permabear, and I always liked you more because I wanted to see Bitcoin go higher.
See, but
now I feel like the roles are reversed.
Yep, and that's the thing. If you're in the Discord long enough, you'll learn that Kenny's just perma bipolar.
Perma bipolar, bro. I trade the charts. That's it. Yeah. I have a harder time pressing the red button, I'll tell you that, but I'm getting good at it. I'm getting good at it lately. But I feel when you have the up only sentiment in bull market, permabull, it gets you wrecked. That's it. And I've been in this since 2017, and man, I've been wrecked a lot of times. So being a permabull is not easy in a bear market, and you have your bull market and then you have your bear market. So I trade the charts, and everybody's guess is what it is. 200K is a lofty goal, especially since I think we're in the fourth quarter of our market, and we're going to see a nice correction here. I think another 10K down from where we're at, maybe another 8, but and then once we bottom out at right around 86, I think we're gonna do what we did in 2021, head up a little bit from there, and maybe see another all-time high like 120. But I don't think we see any more than that. Yeah,
I think another reason why I am so bullish is because I have money invested in the New York Stock Exchange with Bitcoin ETFs and Ethereum ETFs. I don't know if you guys invest in that stuff, but so it's nice watching those prices rise. But when I'm trading crypto, I don't care whether it goes up or down because I short and long. But with my ETF, my leveraged ETFs in the stock market, I just want it to go up. So maybe that's why I'm so bullish.
You're biased.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard the ETFs are a more profitable investment right now than actually just buying Ethereum or Bitcoin. Is that
depends on how much money you put into it too.
It depends on how much money you put into it, and they have 2x leveraged ETFs on the New York Stock Exchange. So yeah. And you can make more money because the stocks themselves are much cheaper, right? I think the Bitcoin stock for that coin right now is probably like $60 or $70 a share.
Yeah. So compared to the actual thing is like a little bit cheaper. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they started out dirt cheap too. They were like $10, $12, $15. There was, 3 or 4 that we could have chosen from at the time, and they were all, so little invest in. It was crazy, and they came out at a great time too, because the bull market was, going, and it came in a great time to where you buy in and just let it roll, let it run, and they've gone up for a while. But it'll be interesting to see what happens.
It came out at a horrible time for actual Bitcoin. It came out right when we were supposed to fucking crash right before the bull market, and then we just never got it. Because back then, Gio and I, we were like fucking ready. We're like, okay, we got this level. Because I even had a whole fucking plan drawn out with like all the fib retracements, and like every cycle we jump one fib retracement. Gio and I, we were fucking ready to hammer shorts. Because it was like about the time of the cycle where you get the pre-bull market dump. Like, you go up, you get one crash, and then you're off. But the ETFs came out and they're just like, fuck it, we're just going up.
Send it.
Fucking bullshit.
Yeah, we had like a little flash crash when the ETFs came out. Like,
yeah,
I think it was like 3 or 4 days long, maybe less, and then it just went up only mode.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we're here.
I mean, you had the opportunity to make a lot of money with that Ethereum ETF. At one point, it was down to like $1.50 a share, right? And then it ended up spiking up to $13 or something crazy like that. And then now it's back down, right? But it's just Ethereum has been very weak, and I've lost a lot of hope in it. It's like the redheaded chip style.
I think a lot of people are feeling this way right now, and I mean, I'm kind of feeling like that also. Like Ethereum is becoming a lost cause, but to be fair, it's usually around this time when shit just goes up only, and it just surprises everyone.
What's Kenny thinking right now?
Kenny, what are you
Kenny's thinking bullshit.
Well, I made a video yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? About where we're at. And we came up to we came up to 97K, a little over 97K. And that was a very big area for us to pull back. We pulled back here in 2021 at the same area. And we pulled back, gosh, I have the charts open too, and I can go back and say what we pulled back, but we went to 52. Well, we bottomed out in 2021 at like 28, and then we ran it up to 52.9, and then we dropped back down to 39. So I think we're heading back down. We came up to that same fib level, and now we're going to head back down. I think we're going to come back down to 86K and then make another run up.
Are you giga short right now?
Not right now. No, I'm waiting for Asia. See what happens for Monday, and then New York open tomorrow. So
we have that FOMC on, what is it, Wednesday?
Yeah, I don't know what day it is.
So when
it's coming up.
You're expecting a run up, are you thinking like another high type of run up, or are you thinking more like 104 before dump type of run up? Kenny,
are you talking to me or Zach?
Yeah, you, Kenny.
Well, if we're going to follow what we did in 2021, then we're going to make another new high. And I believe the percentage was very small compared to early 2021. It was like 2% higher than what we did. So, who knows? It depends on what they want to do.
Depends on the circumstances as well, I think.
Yeah.
I still feel like last cycle was an outlier.
There's a bunch of stuff with the tariffs and the trade deals and the wars going on. And I think that definitely affects investor sentiment in terms of traditional investments. I don't think the crypto bros are realizing it much. Like the people that are on Twitter all day and they're just going, "Oh, perma bear, oh, perma bulls," and you know, these type of people. I don't think they've realized it yet, but I think it definitely plays a major part in it, like the geopolitics.
Yeah, we and
Because
back in
now Bitcoin and
2021.
Ethereum, they're both traditional assets in that sense, so it affects everything.
Yeah, right. Well, the stock market's in a little different position currently than we were in 2021. So the stock market's making a big correction. So we'll see if it can come back. It'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. That's kind of what I'm waiting for. Also, if the Dow and SPX and all that are gonna pull back, then it's given me a little bit more
Information.
It's going to give me some more info that we're going to head back down.
Yeah.
And I'm eyeballing 86K right now, and then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But that's my sentiment right now. I think we hit this nice golden pocket from the high to the low, and we'll see what happens.
Zach, do you try to correlate stock market with crypto at all to kind of find your plays, and do you use that at all? Especially since you kind of have more of a stock background in your family.
Not really. I think sometimes they coordinate with each other, but other times Bitcoin just does whatever the hell it wants. So I don't really correlate either of them together.
I don't usually look too much. I mean, the only thing that I'll really think about is the general economy, but
right.
Other
yeah,
than
or
that,
the scary orange man is saying something about Bitcoin.
He's saying something about tariffs again. Time to dump another.
Yeah.
You guys remember those days? It was like 2 weeks that he was just doing on tariff, off tariff, and
he was negotiating. Yeah.
But it's every time that there's something like that, people try to trade it and take advantage of it and just get fucking sliced up. It's every time I hear some shit about FOMC or Trump talking or any bullshit like that, dude, that's just my excuse to not do anything. It's okay, I'm just gonna go do something else for a little bit.
Yeah, I never learned.
I keep telling some of my friends trade, and I keep telling them, I'm like, guys, you don't have to trade high impact news days. It's not worth it. You might get your trade, you might get your TP, but ultimately I don't think it's worth it because the risk is so much higher compared to a normal news day or any day of the week except from the weekend. I don't trade weekends.
Yeah, volatility during the news is diabolical, and same with trading the weekends. You literally have no idea what's going to happen, and most of the time nothing happens, and you end up losing money anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, usually it's just chop.
Yeah.
So if you're going to trade weekends, you have to super small scalping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
that low volume, not fun.
Low volume kills me. It
does.
Yeah, you just can't keep looking at it. You're like, what? How's my trade doing? You open your phone, you're like, how's my trade doing? And you're saying the same percent after 8 hours, and you're like,
well, and it's frustrating. You find a zone that you like, and then price goes into your zone, and you get a reaction off of it. You're like, okay, this is good, and then it's just fucking after that, it's just limp dick. Nothing happens.
Nothing.
It just falls apart. There's no follow through.
Yeah, there was a point at kind of, I'd say 5 or 6 months into me joining the Nexus. Gio would always say he's not going to trade weekends, and then he would trade weekends, and then Sunday night he'd be like, "I'm never trading weekends again." And it's just been that recycled cycle, every single week. But I don't think he does it anymore.
I was supposed to ban him a long time ago.
Funny times, yeah.
Well, we're taking over the Discord now.
I mean, we're gonna have to if he keeps telling me to ban him when he trades weekends and then trading every weekend.
Trader.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's like, I'm not trading weekends, and then we see him entering an ADA trade, and it's up $1,600 in like 15 minutes, and what the hell?
I thought you were trading.
Something else.
Yeah,
that's something else that I've been considering is just strictly trading Bitcoin or just sticking to one coin, because I feel like when I trade all these different kinds of coins, it just confuses me and it messes me up and it makes me not be as thorough, right? Because I have to be thorough with so many different coins. I'd rather just focus on one coin.
Mm-hmm. I've kind of thought about that too.
For you.
I've kind of thought about that, like doing, like kind of at the beginning of the week, like on a weekend, like kind of looking at some charts, look over a bunch of coins, and then kind of pick one to trade for the upcoming week, like whichever one looks like it's in a zone that you like or going to one, and then you just kind of trade that one for the week, and then next weekend you do the same thing, find a different one. That way you can kind of focus on it.
No, that's a way better way to go about it than just choosing one coin, because Bitcoin or Ethereum, they're never always going to be tradable. So if you just find a coin that is in good zones for the week, you could focus on that instead of trying to force trades on a coin that kind of isn't doing much or it's very volatile.
Just kind of finding me personally, I've just kind of found like 4 or 5 different coins, and whatever looks best, I just trade that.
Yeah.
Kenny, how many breakout accounts do you have now?
Funded 2.
Hell yeah. I need.
You can have as many funded accounts as you want. You just can't. You can only have one eval account.
So you have 2 funded accounts, right? And can you link those accounts together and make identical trades across? You cannot do that.
No, there's a little drop down arrow right here with your account number. So you just literally click the drop down arrow, hit the next account number, and then do boom. So essentially you're entering close to the same time. A lot of times I forget. Most of the time I forget. But
can you open up 2 windows and just have them right beside each other?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's on your laptop computer and the other one on your phone.
Yeah.
Dude, my app doesn't work on my phone. It's horrible. I can't do anything on my phone, basically.
Yeah, I don't even know how to access the trading platform on my Breakout app.
What do you mean?
I've used it more on my phone than on my laptop, so
Breakout?
I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
I just tried to open the Breakout app right now, and it just says error, session expired. That's nice.
Yeah, mine. I have no luck with that.
It never works. I can only use it on my laptop.
If you haven't logged in since they did a back-end update, they'll make you log in again.
That's probably what it is. I haven't logged in on my phone in a while.
Yeah, they done a back-end update just a couple days ago, and if then you'll have to re-log in. So yeah, that's why.
Makes sense.
I think they do a lot of this, like through the weeks. I've gotten emails about that, so which is why I'm mentioning it.
They do a lot of updates on their servers for sure. They have a lot of people joining. It's a great platform. It honestly, it's one of the best prop firm platforms out there. It's the only one for crypto that I think anybody should be a part of. And
dude, it's sick.
And yeah,
I like it.
You prefer trading on Breakout than any other exchange like KSEX or MEXC or any of those?
Yeah, I don't even have. I actually don't have another trading account right now.
You only trade on breakout.
Yeah, I gave away the money in my other trading account to someone in the Discord. I was like,
they both serve their own purpose. You know, they both serve their own purpose. With breakout, you can only trade with the 5x leverage with BTC and Ethereum, but with any other coin, then it's 2x. So, you know, with CaseX, then obviously we can use the max leverage, this 100x or 75x or whatever. So they both have their their pros and cons for sure.
but I'm not really that mad about the leverage thing because like you can have a higher position size. Because like if you're using breakout and you're trading with more capital than what's in your normal account, your position size will be a little bit bigger. Plus, exactly. So it helps me play it safe too. I feel like I lose less.
Yeah, you can have a $250,000 position.
I'd trade on my normal account with instead of just trading on my normal account with $100, $200, $300, right? I'll just buy a breakout account and trade with 5K. So instead of just trading with high leverage and having a tighter stop, I can just pick better setups and just go for swing trades. Which swing trades is like my thing. I've kind of stuck to that because it works for me. And I mean, not lately because we've been route tripping, so I've just been finding less and less. But it just kind of works better for me. It's less stressful. So breakout is like the thing for me.
Yeah, I bought a 50K account, but it was the same week that I got really busy with work, and I ended up I was up like 1.9K, so another 3.1, and I'll pass my evaluation, but I just haven't had any time.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to just take the evaluations slowly. Either just take it slowly or just do it.
Or hammer them. Or hammer.
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah. Maybe I'll wait and I'll hammer that short to 86K, like Kenny says.
Oof. Don't go off of what I say, bro.
See, he's not so confident now.
Well, nah. Hindsight's 50-50. I wish I was short from 96K, but nobody can predict the future.
That's right.
Trading weekends is it's tough trading weekends because you don't know what's going to happen,
Kenny, what if we get 98K?
That's a very possibility. We could definitely do that. I think 98.3 is a good level. There's a lot of confluence up there with some certain things. A lot of people are waiting for that, and I think we may have front ran it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm going to know a lot tomorrow at New York Open.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of stuff happening this week. Especially now that Monday's no sessions at all. No London, no Asia, only New York. Is gonna dictate what happens.
What's the holiday today? I wonder why they're not.
It's a couple of bank holidays. Someone said it in the chat. I read it earlier. I don't remember exactly which stock exchanges, but it's definitely Hong Kong, and I definitely saw London. So two of the most important sessions of the trading day.
That's all right. We always like trading New York, anyways.
Yeah. I think New York
best time when I'm at work.
For most of us. At least for me, New York works the best because it's midday for me. I finished my gym session, I finished my classes, and I'm back home, getting ready to eat lunch, and I can catch a couple of trades.
Must be nice, bro. I never get a trade New York. Pisses me off.
You're out driving when New York happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
The whole damn time.
Do you drive for Amazon or UPS or something?
No, for a truck parts company.
Oh, nice.
It's easy. But it sucks because I can't trade New York. It's literally the entire session I'm gone.
Mm-hmm.
You can trade London though, no?
Yeah,
Or are you asleep during that?
no,
He's asleep. It's late.
no, it's usually isn't. Or no, London is the overnight, isn't it?
Oh, is it overnight for you guys?
Yeah.
Like-
London for me is like 2
actually,
a.m.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
For me, London is like, I think now it's 11 a.m.
Yeah, London's super late for me, but I like trading London. It's hard for me to stay up until 2 o'clock because once I'm in bed, there's no way I'm going. There's no way I'm waking up and trading London.
Doing a trade.
No.
Yeah.
I need to get good at like trading Asia ranges or like scalping. Because usually I do more swing stuff too, like DAC, but not really in
Asian range
the best position.
So trippy. They've been trippy lately. Because
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't trade much.
Sometimes they can just go like this, and they go up like how they've been doing last week, where we've just been going up during Asia, and sometimes it just completely dies, you know.
Yeah.
You know.
Zach, do you usually
of-
just do New York, or what sessions do you usually trade the most?
Usually New York. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm jealous of all you guys.
I mean, I still have a full-time job. There are days during the week when we're not busy and I get to take the day off, and those are the fun days. But I mean, trading ultimately is my passion, and I'm going to make it my full-time gig. It's just taking a little bit of time.
Mm-hmm.
It's always harder to achieve the things you want to do, you know, when you still have to balance your fitness life, your full-time job, your marriage, like all these things. It takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
On my days when I'm slow, I'm gonna start parking in a parking lot and just texting Kenny saying, "Kenny, what are we looking at, dude? I'm trying to take something." Then if I lose, it's not my fault.
Text. You're texting the wrong guy. You got to text Zach.
Man.
No, go on GOTA.
Just FaceTime, bro. Just FaceTime.
I'm tagging everybody.
Right.
All right. I think we had a good episode for today, guys. How about we wrap this up here? I think we're around 1 hour.
Zach wants to go to bed.
Yeah, we're about now. Yeah, he's getting tired out here.
Yeah, no, that's great. It's past my bedtime too.
Is it really? No, it's not.
It should.
Yeah, I'm usually in bed by 8. I get up at 4 every morning.
Oof.
So yeah, I usually go to bed at like 9, 10. I get up at like 5:30.
Yeah, I like being up in the morning.
Yeah.
My sleep schedule is all over the place lately. I've just been waking up randomly at 4 a.m.
You're a college student, right?
Yeah.
So you don't have a sleep schedule.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a sleep schedule. I kind of have like a sleep freestyle. No. Some days I wake up. God, I can't even talk today. Some days I wake up at like 4 a.m. for no reason, and then I can't sleep again. So I just kind of like sit on my phone and doze off. Yeah.
So Zach never does that. He doesn't have a phone to look at when he's in bed.
That's right.
Yeah, it's smart.
I have to have my phone right beside me because I need to have my alarms.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. So do you have like an alarm clock in your room, or like a physical one? I need one.
Yeah, we have, and I have it. So we have it on top of our dresser. So you have to get out of bed to turn the alarm off.
See, that's what I need. I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah.
I'm stealing that. That's the thing. 'Cause I go to the gym in the morning before work. That's always the thing. I never want to get up.
Yeah, that's a skill in itself, is waking up. But if you go to bed early enough,
comfort of your own bed. and be productive.
Yeah.
Maybe I should buy like a really shitty mattress, then I won't want to stay in bed.
Ooh.
I
No,
can't
that's
wait to
actually
get
a good idea. That could work, but I don't know if that works for your body.
Yeah.
Well,
You'll sleep like shit. You'll be even more tired.
Yeah.
anyway, well,
All right.
that's about it.
Great
for today.
episode. Good
Yeah,
episode, guys.
good episode.
Thanks for spending time with us, Zach.
Yeah, boys, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
for
Hell
It
yeah.
was fun.
I'm sure you'll be back.
being on.
Cool.
All right.
Well, everyone, go and check out everyone's social media down below. We're gonna have everything posted, and we'll see you guys next time.